Hey guys, welcome to Unlimited Airsoft Shop's video about gas blowback pistols in New Zealand. Today we're going to be doing a quick breakdown of all the pistols that we stock, talking about the different uses and the different power sources and a few different other just information about gas blowback pistols for people who might not know. Before we get stuck into that, we just want to remind everyone that airsoft replicas are extremely realistic and they need to be stored, transported and used in a responsible and safe manner so we can keep playing the awesome sport of airsoft.
Right, hi, I'm Joseph from Untitled Chapter, and this is Andrew here.
So we're going to start off probably by just breaking down the 5 pistols in front of us. So these are some of our most popular models and brands that we have. So did you want to give a quick breakdown of the Src M9? Sure.
Right, so Src M9 is a pretty nice metal silver M9. It's actually my first airsoft pistol, so I've been in love with that. And then the quality itself is pretty good. There's not much you can go wrong on this one, eh?
Yeah.
And it's pretty metal-ish feeling, and then it's definitely worth the money to buy it.
Comes straight out of the box as a CO2 gun, so it has a really nice hard kick. While we're actually on the topic of CO2, we might quickly just go over the different power sources for these. So in front of us we have, this is a CO2, and then these here are green gas pistols. So the difference is a CO2 pistol will take a CO2 cartridge in the magazine, one like this here.
Yep.
You'll insert it, and then you fill your babies, and you'll get quite a few shots.
Yep, and then after that, you just go directly into the thing, and you rig it, it will go.
The other option, straight out of the box, is a green gas pistol, like the AAPs, where you have a fill valve on the bottom, and you take your green gas can and charge it. Then, once it's all charged for about 10 seconds vertically, you're good to go. Same as the CO2. The CO2 cartridge will last a bit longer. You can refill the mag with BBs, as opposed to the green gas one, might only take one refill of BBs. Then for upgraded power sources, we also have HPA. So you can replace a fill valve with a HPA valve. This allows you to connect a bottle and hose, and means that you can adjust your PSI to shoot different FPSs, as well as tune your gun to exactly how you want it to shoot when you're using it as a primary, for example.
But you have to be really careful with that, as the PSI do actually go really high, and certain pistol couldn't take this much PSI. I mean, for example, the CO2 cylinder is roughly about 100 to 110 PSI. For the green gas, is roughly about 70 to 90 PSI. I mean, some of the pistol can take both, some of the pistol couldn't, so you just have to be really careful what sort of PSI you can run for your pistol if you gotta choose the HPA source.
On the topic of HPA and PSI and everything, we have the different slides that we've got. So TMs come as extremely realistic pistols, but come with a plastic slide, which means that we run them on a lower gas. We have a 9 kg duster gas, which helps the plastic slide cycle better. And then we also have everything else. We recommend that our 12 kg or the upgraded 14 kg can be used for a higher FPS.
I mean, you guys can actually comment in the below and just tell us which pistol is your favorite sort of things, and then you like the Hi-capa or you like the Beretta. So Andrew, what you like?
I love the Hi-capas and I love the Glocks. They're the most popular ones we have, and some of the most upgradable, as well as the AAP, which uses a lot of Glock internals as well. You'll see behind us on the wall we have a lot of our upgraded AAPs, Hi-capas and Glocks from our staff. And
so is that the reason because you like the Hi-capas, because you have got a lot of custom modification you can done, is that?
Yeah, so pretty much with a Hi-capa you can do almost anything. You can swap out every single part. You can get an aftermarket version in a different colour, a different shape. So you can really make it your own.
Yeah, I actually quite like that, eh? It's actually feel like Iron Man style sort of things, eh?
Yeah. So this is from one of our techs, Vin. And yeah, you can really do whatever you want. The Hi-capa is the most upgradable pistol, and then followed pretty closely now by the AAPs, which these ones here are an awesome pistol to start off with because they're so affordable, straight out of the box. So Joseph's holding up an AAP and a carbine kit.
Yep.
And you can get anything for these, including stuff like over in the corner here we have the Makita drill set for it, and you can drop any internal and any external into them to make them shoot absolutely incredibly. So yeah, don't be afraid to comment down below if there's any pistols that you're interested in, and we'll do a more in-depth review on them. Why don't you tell me about the Sig Sauer that we've just got in?
Alright, so because I've been doing 9mm IPSC for a few years now, the reason we get this one in is because the trigger feels really like the real thing. I reckon it's pretty good. They also come with like gas and CO2. For the CO2, the kick is pretty amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Have you actually tried it?
Yeah, I've shot one.
Yeah. So like after the shot of that, I'm just like, yeah, definitely it's a good practice gun, 100%. like for gaming wise, nothing gonna go wrong. Hard kick, shooting further, definitely a brilliant pistol.
One of the awesome things about that is it's fully licensed by Sig, so you get all the trademarks and extreme realism for it. As some of the other ones that we have is the Tokyo Maruis do come with trades on them. They're not licensed, but they do come with accurate trades, as well as on their Hi-capa models. The Tokyo Maruis and the Sigs are perfect sort of on that mid to high range for when someone really needs a reliable performance pistol. And then if you're looking for something that's maybe a wee bit more affordable, something like our SRCs or the AAP-01 by Action Army are great for as a secondary or as something to shoot around your backyard. Whereas if you're playing with a primary or you need a reliable sidearm for outdoors, the TMs and SIGs are really where you can start off with. They're great.
Definitely. Later on, we're gonna have some WE pistol coming in, which means will be similar model but in a different price range. I would say for the starter gun sort of thing, it will be even more affordable sort of thing.
My first gun was a WE Glock. I loved it to bits. And then so WEs are an awesome one to start off with for a sidearm. It's a great start first off primary for indoor as well.
Yeah.
And then another great thing that WEs are good for straight off the bat is HPAing.
Yeah.
And because they come straight out of the box with the metal slide. So to talk a little bit more about HPA, as well as replacing your fill valve with an HPA valve, you can also get a M4 mag adapter, which we will be stocking full CNC metal ones shortly at Unlimited Airsoft Shop. So what this allows you to do is to take your pistol, insert the gas mag into it, and then you can take an M4 AEG mag and put it into this mag well, which allows you to reload without disconnecting your HPA line, and means that you have a much higher capacity for playing with pistol as a primary. This is an awesome alternative to, say, a drum mag, which we also have.
I mean, personally, it do look a bit ugly for me, eh? Like, why you actually really likes of it? Yeah.
When you're shooting a pistol as a primary, like a lot of players indoor are doing nowadays, the extra round capacity to keep up with rifle players is almost a must. It means that you can really, shoot a lot more, as well as you've already got that HPA consistency. It allows you to reload without having to remove a line, which is a really advantage, especially in competitive play, like speeds off tournaments, where a pistol as a primary is almost always an option.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I reckon, like locally this is always not my thing, but holding like that is actually not get into any other way anyway, right?
No. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't really notice it once you have it in there.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is like we started actually seeing a lot of people doing kind of like a counter version of it to become a stock, is it?
So some other companies are coming out with a version where the magazine is inserted like this on a 45-degree angle, so that the mag will actually run up your arm when it's in the pistol, and you can also use it as a stock.
Yeah, so there's so many options in Airsoft nowadays that you can pick whatever you like. So definitely, getting your first pistol or something, definitely just like a lot of choice. So do some research before you do it. I reckon definitely. Do you want to like talk some of the build? Like which one is yours?
This is my Hi-capa. So this is what I use for indoor airsoft, and it's my primary. So when I'm running around, I'll either run it with an adapter like this, or on green gas as well. So this is a TM Tokyo Marui Hi-capa 4.3, and I've replaced almost everything apart from the frame on it, so that I've replaced all the plastic parts with metal so that I can run it on HPA more reliably. And yeah, you can really pour some money and build at exactly how you want.
But just say, for example, like, because you say the plastic is actually, you change it to a metal, it's more durable, right? Is it a lot more durable?
It's more durable, but it's more about the running it on the higher PSI to get the higher FPS. So
would it actually get more kick out of it?
Yeah, so it does increase the kick quite a bit.
Okay.
So you can change your springs, the weight of your slide, your blowback unit, all to adjust the recoil and the cycle speed of your pistol to get the exact sort of specifications you like.
To get roughly like this kind of build, how much money are you roughly thinking like the player normally spend?
I'd say a build would start around, including the pistol, around $800 to $1,000.
So, but I mean, after this build, this pistol can be your primary, and then like we can pretty much like outshoot any rifles in the SPQB area.
100%. I will happily shoot this over my rifle, which is also very well built, any day because of how enjoyable and how it can keep up with other pistols. So with the Tokyo Maruis, because they come with plastic slides, this is because they are built for the Japan market where it has to be under 1 joule. Here in New Zealand, we can play a bit faster with higher FPSs, so that's why we build them with the upgraded parts to shoot a wee bit higher FPS.
Yeah. But for me, I mean, always a Glock person, stock standard, 26 rounds mag, and then I can actually go anywhere as a sidearm. I'm still a rifle, sidearm, and change mags person. So that possibly not to me. But I mean, hey, again, that just proves airsoft can go to different levels, and then of a pistol can be a primary, and then can actually become really interesting how you actually shoot it. For me, I'd rather stay with that, hey, unfortunately.
Yeah. Speaking of different levels and different ideas, there's quite a few different reasons people buy airsoft pistols in New Zealand. Do you want to go over a few of them?
I mean, some people actually using as a practice target. Like, for example, me sometimes using the airsoft pistol as a practice for real steel because you can shoot it anywhere. A lot of people can, a lot of parents wanting to actually have a backyard for kids to train out how's the safety of airsoft pistol related to the real stuff. So you don't have to pick out really lethal items straight away. You can use airsoft as your training kind of things. And then people using airsoft, of course, for gaming, like shooting each other with it and they have shits and giggles sort of things.
Yeah.
Like I actually played airsoft for like nearly 10 years. I starting like playing with like the outdoor field and then run this as my first pistol sort of thing as a secondary. And then all through now I'm using the airsoft to actually start practice. Andrew is even start like we have a new thing, speed QB sort of thing, and then we just do a really competitive shooting. Most of the people using a pistol because they're tiny, they're short, they're quick, and then they run the HPA, they just keep reliable and it feels really good on your head as well, eh?
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, airsoft can be a great way to introduce people to firearm safety in a very safe environment because it is a much less lethal alternative to real steel. You can train people and teach them more about firearm safety with something that they can get used to with a bit less fear. As well as that, we were going over the sort of different use cases. So we have Speed QB and Speed Soft, backdoor plinking, and then we also have ISPC.
So in real war, it's called the IPSC. It means it's practical shooting for like using the like 9mm, 45 caliber, or even 38 Super Cone. In airsoft, we try to replicate to a safer way because in the real war that can goes wrong. Hey, like if something goes wrong, it's like deep troubles. In airsoft, you can have a little bit wrong. So in that case, then we can tell you, okay, hold on, you didn't do the right thing on your safety wise. Then we can correct you that. So we started getting more and more young one, and then just want to try this kind of a trigger discipline, safe angle shooting, and the common sense of how to actually operating a replica toward to the real steel. So that's also a great thing to do as airsoft as well.
Yeah. So that's the ASPC, isn't it, that we do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we do it Tuesday night, conjunction with sometimes PQB as well. Yeah.
What sort of pistols would you normally see out at ASPC?
So basically, a lot of like Glock is definitely Hi-capa. We call it Hi-capa, but in real war, it's more like 2011 sort of things. Yeah. And then we barely see Beretta sort of thing, but mainly definitely is Glock. Recently, we actually have a lot of people toward to like Sig Sauer sort of thing because they are really like the real steel. And then we have a lot of real steel shooter actually buy airsoft just to shoot the airsoft IPSC session at the night to practice even a bit more. And then the feedback says that it's more fun for all those experienced shooter, and then they know that they're not gonna make it wrong, so they can even do some fancy move to practice rather than just like in the real world you can't do fancy move just in case you misfire or anything. It's actually quite interesting because I can start to see people jumping over a car, jumping over a barrel with an airsoft gun. They still try to look cool, and then they're more particular. Oh, can I get some photo of it or something? And then
having those John Wick moments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I even tried myself the John Wick moment. It's pretty cool to be honest with you. Yeah. So we have like, which one is Nathan's one actually?
This one's Nathan's.
I actually quite like that because like that actually create the replica of the real stuff to actually have the more aggressive grips to hold on your hand, and then they actually just like fit your head a bit more. But before you do that, you have to be careful that actually hurt your head.
Yeah. So that's a textured grip for better grip on the pistol. So this is from our head tech Nathan.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, like straight over my hand, it's actually just get gripped it. Yeah.
This pistol build comes in at probably over $2,000, and
wow,
it's his primary.
QA.
So yeah, you can really go quite hard with it and build exactly something super unique, super one-on-one. Like you'll never see anything just like this around.
Yeah. If anyone knows Nathan, you should see his face right now to actually like how well built it is. Just come here, see him, see like how proud he actually talk about this one.
The other thing is, if you guys are interested in building a pistol or just purchasing a pistol, don't be afraid to hit us up on Facebook or email us or give us a phone call. Our techs Nathan is always available to talk to them about parts, base builds, the different benefits you can get from each part, and what your first upgrades should be on a gun.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to hit us up.
How about that pinky one?
This is also Nathan's.
See, like this is really genius on any Hi-capa head.
So he's got a custom slide that's anodized pink and then has laser engraving on both sides. This is a very rare limited slide because Nathan likes his fancy stuff. And then he has a cocking handle, which is
Two companies in Nathan.
and then he has a cocking handle, which is something quite popular in ISPC and ASPC for quickly racking his pistol, and then he just has the front fiber sights for aiming down sight. Whereas in real steel, you'd normally see a charging handle, you'd see an optic mounted piece,
correct.
which is another option that we don't have in front of us, but you can always mount an optic, like a red dot on your pistol. So we have, here's one in a carbine kit with an optic, and we have some on our website that have the optic mounted directly on the pistol. AAPs are great for this because unlike all the other pistols here, they have a reciprocating bolt instead of a slide, so the only part that moves when you shoot it is this part here. So you can mount a red dot here really easily.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a custom your pistol to become really unique, definitely Hi-capa is one of the choice. And if you don't like this kind of thing, you more like a Glock way sort of thing, then AAP is your Glock way to actually customize
100%.
everything you could.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually feel like the hard kick and more metal out of it, all those like silver stuff like metal Beretta or metal anything like WE Beretta or even Src Beretta will give you the nice feel like really heavy and really metal sort of things.
100%.
And then if you really want to feel like the real trigger as a practice sort of thing, or any licensed product similar like this Sig Sauer sort of things, and also the Euromax Glock we have. So any licensed product that we have or around the world will actually give you the feeling of a training pistol sort of things.
So licensing pretty much means that a real steel company like Glock or Sig has given an airsoft company the rights to produce it, but they'll also be checking the quality of the product and making sure it is a nice replica of their product to put their name on. So that's why you get the extremely high quality builds from Sig and URX and the likes of that.
Yeah. All right, so I guess like that's today. If you want to see any other contents you want a way to talk with or way to actually do something, do actually hit the links below or comments below and see what you want to see, and then we'll try our best to actually make the new one next one.
Thanks for watching, guys.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
Hit us in the next one.